have always said that raising kids is the toughest job out there, and I didn't find anybody to argue with me. If you've ever had a doubt, today's show is going to convince you for sure. Now, Debbie is a mother of 4 beautiful children. She says that everything was okay when she only had 2 kids. But then when that number doubled to 4, she says she just got overwhelmed and checked out. Now, her husband says every time the kids try to kiss their mom, she tells them to, no, get away from me. Take a look.
My name is Deborah. I would be happier if I didn't have my 4 kids. The kids fight with each other all the time. When I stop them from fighting, it's a battle. Get in. Sit. I raise my voice. Get in. Scream, yell. Sit. Spank. I spanked one child several times in a row, and I bruised my hand and also broke a blood vessel in my hand, so I knew it had gone too far.
She calls me up to tell me the kids are yelling, the kids are screaming, the kids are in trouble. She puts the kids on the phone so I can tell each one of them they need to calm down.
I push my kids away. I don't want their love.
My bond with the kids is different. Can I take a nap? I'm the one holding their hands. I'm the one cradling them.
After I found out I was pregnant with a 3rd child, I didn't want to be pregnant again. Having a 4th one, and we had 3 in diapers, and it was crazy, and I didn't want to be a mom anymore.
The day before she gave birth, she told me how she didn't want the baby.
I've mentioned putting up all of them for adoption. I don't love them. I don't love my kids as much as I should.
She's told me that she could walk away from this at any time and she wouldn't even look back.
When they come to me and just want a hug, it's like, just back off. Don't touch me.
Okay, now you know that right now everybody in America is going, oh my God, how can a mother say that about her own children, right? So you know right now you're being hugely judged for what you've said.
Yes.
Okay, just saying that to make you feel better. Really, I'm pointing this out because that's the normal reaction, but I want you to know a few things. First off, I'm not here to throw you under the bus. You didn't come here to get thrown under the bus. You came here to get some help.
Correct.
Okay, and so when I look at everything involved here, I don't ask myself why you feel the way you do. I ask myself why not. I may be the only person that gets it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think's going on. I'm going to tell you what I think needs to happen to fix it. I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do individually and as a couple to make this family have a chance of working. Okay? Yes. So please be honest. Don't worry about me judging you because that is not going to happen. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. This is off in the ditch, right?
Yes.
And it's something has scared you to the point that you've said, I'm going to ask for some help here. I got to do something. Something has moved you from just inertia and suffering to finally doing something. And I don't know what it is. I'm asking you. Maybe you don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Well, at one point you said, I'm tired of beating them. You said, I have spanked to the point that I've broken a blood vessel in my hand and bruised my hand. I have hit these kids so much.
Correct.
Okay, does that scare you?
It scares me very much.
Intellectually, do you know that beating these children is not an answer?
Correct.
And beating is your word, not mine. Do you think that it's gotten to the point of being abusive?
I try not to spank anymore because I think it could be abusive, yes.
I can understand sometimes where mentally, emotionally, psychologically, one parent, husband or wife, either one, mother or father, can spin out of control. But for 2 people to buy into the same lack of logic, the same irrationality, to allow abuse of children to go on inside the home, that I don't get. I don't get how you can get up and go to work every day, how you can go to bed every night knowing that the situation is such that there is a person, in this case, your wife and their mother, but whoever it is, in the house abusing these children. I'm asking you to tell me how you're making this okay in your head. Why are you allowing this?
I'm really not making it okay. I know I need to provide for my family. My only option is to quit my job and go to work somewhere else.
Well, that may be your only option, and it may not. But allowing these children to continue to be the subject of this kind of abuse is not an option. You've got to be the one that stands in the gap and protects these children. You get what's wrong, correct? You say there's extreme spanking, that you've been cussing at the kids, that you push them away, that you tell them, don't kiss me, don't touch me, I don't want any part of your life.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So in addition to getting physically beaten, they're getting rejected from their mother.
Yes.
Dad, I don't know, maybe you've never seen it in this sharp a relief.
We talked about divorce. I don't want a divorce. I love my wife. I know my wife loves my kids. And I don't want to take my wife from my kids. We've had counseling. And the counselor that we saw, let's just get you on medication. And I told Debbie then, drugs aren't the answer. If you still have a problem, drugs aren't the answer. So we just stopped the therapy right there.
So you basically then did nothing.
Correct.
We have to agree, this is not okay. This cannot continue, not another day, not another minute. The sun cannot set on this house again with this same dynamic going in control. I have to speak for the children. You cannot leave children in this kind of situation. And I can't live with your passivity in this. You don't like medication, so you just do nothing?
But I don't want to mask it.
Right now, I'm not talking about you. I'm going to get to you in the next segment. Right now, I don't give a damn what you want. What I want are these children protected. It doesn't matter whether you want to mask it or whether you don't, whether you like medication or whether you don't. If you don't like that, then don't do that, but do something. You don't just do nothing and continue to let these children be grist for the mill. That cannot continue. But I'm going to tell you what you can do instead of that. All right, we got to take a break. Debbie says that she's had some dark moments in her past, some that her husband doesn't even know about, but I do. We're going to talk about those traumatic events when we come back.
I was going to counseling with someone that I thought was strong, someone I could trust. When I was down and vulnerable, he took advantage of me. There's something going on for me not to love my kids. I want to get away from my kids when they're clingy. They come home and they want to love me. I don't want that.
I don't want to say that Debbie is superficial, but with our family, it does seem so. When we drive to her parents' house, all of a sudden, a new attitude takes over. She's loving, she's holding my hand. When we walk in the house, she hugs me. But that's all in front of her family. That's not out in public. That's not for others to see. It's not at home. We don't have that.
Well, that was Chuck, and he was talking about how his wife, Debbie, only shows their kids any affection if someone else, someone of importance, is looking on. Now, other times, she has thought of putting them up for adoption. Now, there is a reason why Debbie says she can't stand when her kids and her husband try to hug or touch her. Take a look.
I was touched inappropriately several times. The first incident was when I was 6 or 7. It was the neighbor kids, and I approached my dad with it, and he took care of it. Basically, they couldn't be in our yard anymore. 8 years ago, I was going to counseling with someone that I thought was strong, someone I could trust. Sessions went very well. I thought I was doing good, and there was a session that didn't work. When I was down and vulnerable, he took advantage of me. It was rape. How I have been touched, I didn't like. It drives me crazy when my kids want affection. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel as though I don't want to touch them inappropriately. I wouldn't. So if I don't touch somebody, they're not going to feel the pain like I feel. I don't want them to feel the pain I do. I'm protecting them from me.
Things have happened to you that have changed who you are. True?
Yes.
Now things are happening to your children that are changing who they are, right?
Correct.
Tell me how you think they respond, how you think they accommodate to this when they reach for you and you tell them, don't touch me, get away, I want no part of you, I don't want you
I get a lot
here.
of mixed feelings. Because there are some days that I'll take one of them and love them and brush their hair, but it's a lot of mixed feelings. And they're at the age where I was when I was 5 and 6, and I hope it never happens to them. So if they're not in my care, it's not going to happen.
What do you mean by that?
I won't have to see anything bad happen to them. If they're not in my care, I'm not going to see them be touched inappropriately or get raped or taken. It won't be my fault.
Which is why you've said, I think these kids would be better off without me.
Yes. They deserve a mother who loves them, who wants to wrap their arms around them and paint their toenails and brush their hair and take them to sporting events.
Do you love them?
Today, no, because I don't love myself.
Is it having an effect on the children?
Yes. They're out of control.
2 of the children have been abusive with the cat.
You might say it's abusive.
They wrapped a cord around its neck and stuffed it in a cooler.
No, they put the dog's collar on the cat's, or the dog's chain on the cat's collar. And then before we left, they had put it into the cooler.
Well, let's hear what you said about it.
We have a cat. They wrapped the dog's leash around the cat's body. The last time they did it, they wrapped it up and stuck it in an ice chest with the lid on. That didn't surprise me, but at the same time I was very angry because I don't know where they get that it's okay to hurt an animal.
So you poo-poo it, you're concerned about it.
I'm concerned about it.
And you just put, no, it wasn't that big a deal?
To me, no, it wasn't that big a deal. They've destroyed a lot more than that.
They may have destroyed a lot more than that, but that is a living, breathing organism. And you also have a duty to protect this animal. And if that means you need to get this animal out of the house and find it another home, then you do that. But you don't leave an animal there for children to abuse. That is absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable. The animal is helpless to protect itself from these children, just as these children are helpless to protect themselves from you.
Correct.
So we have a domino effect here going on, and it's kind of like I'm the only one that sees the far-reaching nature of what's going on here. I feel like I need to sound an alarm and say you've got to have an urgent awareness here about what's going on.
Something's got to happen. Something needs to change. Something, I don't know. I don't know what needs to happen. That's why I'm here. I don't know what discipline. I don't know what love. I don't know what to do with these kids.
You don't even trust yourself to hug your children for fear that you might molest them.
I don't want them to feel hurt like I hurt.
I believe that you are experiencing a severe depression at this point. I believe some of it is postpartum in nature. Beginning with the day the 3rd child was born, you said, I don't want this child. I believe, based on everything you're saying, that you're also suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Because you're at a point you don't even trust yourself to hug your children for fear that you might molest them, correct? You said, if I touch them, maybe I wouldn't molest them. That's what everybody's done with me. And I read all of this about molested children become molesters. So you're even thinking that you might do this to your own children.
Well,
And you're showing anxiety, you're showing depression, you're showing disassociation. You're just unscrewing and pulling back from the whole thing.
I mean, I've beat my kids. I don't want that. I don't want them to feel the pain. I want them to feel loved. I don't want them to feel hurt like I hurt. So if I just leave everything, it should be okay.
That's a very dangerous thought, by the way. If you start thinking that those around you would be better off without you, that is a prelude to suicide, right? And you haven't said it out loud, but you've thought about it, haven't you?
Yes.
That is a short-term solution with huge side effects.
So how do I fix me so I'm not like this?
You have to decide that you are going to climb your way out of this hole. And that's going to involve a lot of things. Right now, I think if we could put all your biochemistry on a chart up here, it would look like chaos. You can't have this much stress and pressure and not just be completely in disarray. That has to get calmed down. Secondly, there are very specialized techniques to help survivors of rape and abuse to regain their balance and regain their trust in themselves and others and to heal those wounds. And that needs to happen with you as well. I am personally going to assemble a team to intervene in your life medically and psychologically to help you get the peace that you've been missing for all of these years.
Thank you.
Okay? That's what we're going to do for you. You get a turn.
I want that.
You get a turn, and this is it. This is your turn. Okay? Because there has to be some environmental change here. You have got to plug in. You've got to become more active in making sure that these children have a nurturant environment, that this home is not chaotic. And the team that I'm going to assemble for you is going to help you with these kids so they can begin to understand and you can come to them with a peaceful and open heart here. So we're going to help you with that, but you've got to plug in and get much more involved than what you are right now, and we're going to help with that as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a plan?
We have a plan.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on. We're going to meet another couple that understands a lot about what is going on in this home right now in terms of chaos. Because we're going to be talking about what you get when you mix a woman with 4 sons and a man with 4 daughters. It's a modern-day Brady Bunch, but there's no laugh track and a happy time at the end of each day. There's a much darker twist to this. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Dealing with the craziness of our household, I have felt in over my head.
Not arguing with real.
Knock it off. You're here to brush your teeth.
It gets to the point where I'm so stressed out, I shut down.
Well, Jen is a mom who says that she is tired of screaming and yelling at the 8 kids in her house. 4 of them are hers, 4 of them are her fiancés. And together, they're trying their best to blend the children. But most days, Jen says she just feels in over her head because she can't be a supermom.
Knock it off. You're here to brush your teeth.
My name is Jen. I'm 30 years old, and I'm the mom of 8 kids.
We're a little bit like the Brady Bunch, except we don't have 6, we have 8.
Deacon Scott, where'd you go? Dealing with the craziness of our household.
No, I didn't. Horsey, that's my dinner.
Not arguing with real.
I have felt in over my head. Hurry up, Brittany.
Mom,
What all did you do in that bathroom? It gets to the point where I'm so stressed out that I shut down because I know I'll get to my boiling point. I lost my cool with Caden, and he just kept flopping on the floor, and I was getting more irritated and more irritated. And I remember grabbing him by the shoulders and pushing him against the door, yelling in his face, "You're being a idiot. Why are you being so stupid? This is dumb." Zane was bawling over something silly. I screamed at him and told him that he was acting like a baby. Go find something to do. It seems like they don't respect me. They don't want to listen to what I have to say. Tegan, I'm not done talking. Willa decided to crawl around behind Noah and shove him from the back, and he landed on the floor and smacked his head and ended up with a concussion. By the end of the day, I am ready to melt into the couch and zone into my TV because I just want to turn everything off.
But while Jen is convinced the kids are the real issue, her husband, John, who quit his job to help Jen manage the chaos, has a very different take on this problem.
Jen, she'll sleep till noon. She'll wake up, she'll be grumpy, she won't feel well. She'll sit on the couch and play on her phone or her iPad. She has difficulty with stress.
What are you working on? I can't hear you when you walk away from me.
She'll get overwhelmed with just everything. Eat your dinner, brush your teeth, go to bed. You think I'm kidding, Brittany? I'm kind of a machine, so energy-wise, I don't get exhausted keeping it all together.
Willa, knock it off. You're not in here to fight with your sister.
Jen on a normal day doesn't really do a whole lot of chores. She cooks maybe twice a week if she's feeling up to it, but usually not that much. I think the children are striving for the connection from Jen, and that she's distancing herself from everybody, and so she's not involved.
Okay, so you've got 4, and you've got 4.
Yes.
And you put them together as 8. What did you think would happen?
I knew that it would be busy and there would be an adjustment period, that it would take time to kind of get into the flow of how everybody was going to deal with each other. I didn't think it would take this long.
Well, I figured it'd be a work. It wasn't going to be something simple. It's not one kid is work alone. 8 kids are going to be quite a bit of work.
Quite a bit of work. What did you do to prepare for this? Did you make a plan? Did you go see a family therapist? What did you do preparatory to merging 10 people into one home?
We dated for quite some time before we had. They've spent a lot of time together. They've hung out. They've spent the night. They've played. It slowly merged the environment. It wasn't just pack up the 4 kids and move in together at the same time, all in one smooth.
Okay, if I can summarize your answer, is it not much?
I guess you could say not much. We let them get to know each other, but that's about it.
But they actually didn't even know they were moving in until it happened, right?
They knew
there was no family meeting of the 2 camps. You just kind of did it and said, "Well, look here."
I guess you could say that. When we actually officially moved in together, we were probably staying about 3 nights a week there before we moved in. And we had, in passing, had talked to the children, not like sit them down, but had talked to them that we were going to work on merging the 2 families. But we didn't sit all 10 of us down in one meeting, no.
Why not, by the way? Just curious.
Didn't think about it.
It's never occurred to you that you're getting ready to change the lives of 8 people substantially and dramatically, where they're going to have to start sharing space, time, money, resources, parents. It never occurred to you to maybe chat them up about it for
It did individually, not as a whole.
Are you overwhelmed?
Yeah.
So you've just pretty much checked out, right?
Yeah.
Because you heard how she's feeling, right? You can identify with that, true?
Definitely.
And so you're just escaping into television, Facebook, all that, right?
Yeah.
While all of this is going around, and you prevailed on him to quit his job. And what were you going to do while he was running the house?
I would be at school and studying.
So you were going to leave, let him take this over. You got 8 kids, all of a sudden you said, "No, tag out. You're in, I'm out. That was the plan?
Basically, yeah.
So are you doing that?
Not until January.
So are you okay with being Mr. Mom for 8 kids?
I have no problem being Mr. Mom for 8 kids. I'm not saying I don't want help when she's home. I mean, I want her to be involved if she's there, but if she's at school, I understand. I mean, but I have no problem being Mr. Mom.
Well, it sounds like you may get that chance. We're going to talk about what challenges that's going to present. All right. This isn't the first look that we've taken into this. I've got a secret weapon here that I wanted to send in to kind of evaluate and see if we could bring some order to this chaotic family. We're going to find out what happens during his home invasion when we come back.
When I walked in, it was really chaotic. It was very disorganized, and I had a disconnected mother.
No, I didn't.
I'm tired of screaming and yelling and feeling like the bad parent.
No, I didn't.
It's not the way kids should behave. Had I done stuff like this growing up, I would have been in my room for a month.
Knock it off.
Cursing at kids, twins brawling over Legos, children falling off laundry tables. There's only one man that I know that could deal with all of that. So I called my good friend, child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, Dr. Charles Sophie. He's medical director for the Department of Children and Family Services for Los Angeles County. But he was not going in that capacity. He was going in the capacity of a correspondent for us. I sent him to Jen and John's home for a little home invasion. Take a look.
I'm here in Oregon, where Dr. Phil sent me to meet a young couple who's raising 8 children.
No, I didn't. Stop it.
They seem to be pretty overwhelmed, especially Mom.
Hey, come on in.
When I walked in, it was really chaotic. It was very disorganized, and I had a disconnected mother.
Wanting to see the family in action without interfering, Dr. Sophie watches them from a monitor on an outside deck.
Hey, can you
They're not getting to go out and do anything, but they're not really here involved and engaged.
After witnessing Jen's general disinterest firsthand, Dr. Sophie decides to sit down with the kids.
What's it like to be a kid in this house?
Oh gosh,
Awesome. We got
crazy.
chaotic. We got dogs. Chaotic.
What are the parents like in this house?
I'm afraid of John.
You're afraid.
We're all afraid of Dad. He's really bulky.
If they would like check on us and hang out and play with us more often, I believe we would be actually like listen and behave more.
She only really gets up when she hears fighting. Has anybody seen something?
She's telling me that your mom only gets off the couch when she hears noise or something.
She just sits there and be grumps all day long and won't complain.
Then it's time for one-on-one with Jen.
You reached out because it's chaotic.
She's in the basement.
I was done.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it anymore.
And when I come today, I still feel that you're not part of all of this. I mean, you're yelling at the kids and you're probably scaring them, and your intolerance is apparent to everybody. And that's just not going to be a recipe that's ever going to work for you guys.
So definitely, I want to fix that more than anything.
Why?
Because I want us all to be happy and healthy and enjoy each other.
Dr. Sophie came and paid to visit, and you guys sat down and talked to him. You also spent some time with the kids, right?
I did.
And when you sat down with the kids, what jumped out at you the most?
The chaos, but they were really verbal about it. They
Right.
were really very clear about the fact that they want love and attention, and that they're not getting it the way that they want it, or the way that they think they should be getting it.
Right. So they know this isn't right. They know something's changed.
Totally. They totally know it's not right.
You ready for some good news?
Yes, please.
The good news is children are very resilient. You can get a do-over here. You can kind of start and lay some things out for everybody so everybody knows their rules, knows their job, knows their role, understands. Because, see, kids don't know how to sort out what the deal is, all of a sudden they're sharing dad with 4 new people.
Absolutely.
Plus her. And then your kids are sharing you with 4 new people and him.
Right.
So what do kids say to themselves about it? That's troubling to kids.
It's very confusing to them. They get angry about it. They don't know how to get attention from their original biological parent to begin with, and then they got to fight for affection from this other new person.
What did you observe with Jen? Because you kind of believe she says she has checked out. You say it's even gone beyond that.
I do. I don't think Jen came to this fully checked in. I think her mind and heart were somewhere else. And I don't think she thought through it enough to not even to know if she wanted it. But she thought she wanted it. She didn't know if she felt she wanted it. So doing what she thought was right doesn't always mean your feelings are with it. And so the behavior isn't there to back it up and really be committed.
Why do you think you're just really not all into this?
I don't even know. I get overwhelmed. And so I just kind of shut it all off. And if I don't have to deal with it, then maybe it's not there.
You came to be a single mother in what way?
My husband, Kyle, was killed in Iraq December of 2004, leaving me with the 3 older boys. And then after a relationship, the guy decided that he didn't want any more children and left me when I was 3 months pregnant with Noah.
So you lose your husband in Iraq, and now you have another child, and you came to be a single father in what way?
Well, my wife passed away in 2008, in June of 2008. She died from a complication of medication. We were in a car accident in January of 2008, and we went on a family vacation, and she passed away while we were in family vacation.
So you two find yourself single parents with 4 children. But answer this honestly, and then we're going to take a break and let you gather your thoughts here. If you knew 18 months ago what you know now, would you have done this? And I'll take your answers after the break.
Jen has a male Facebook friend that she talks to pretty much every day. Late into the evening, I don't know the guy. It's just a guy that she met a few years back.
He's been a friend, a shoulder to cry on, an ear to vent to.
When we first got together, it wasn't real common that they'd talk, and lately it's every night.
I don't feel like I talk to him all day long. There's times that I'll go days without talking to him. But when we talk, it's a place that I can vent about the kids that I don't feel guilty.
This particular male Facebook friend has been problems with past boyfriends. He's a professional photographer. He's planning on doing a older style pinup photo shoot with Jen in Seattle. And Jen kind of just told me she was gonna go up there in October and take photos and stay in a hotel and come back the next day.
I don't think talking to my friend would make John jealous.
I do not know why she feels so connected to this guy. It feels like I'm being betrayed.
I ask you, if you knew 18 months ago what you know now, would you have done this?
Not without doing something completely different.
So no. How about you?
I would have done it differently, but I still would have wanted to be where we are, but not necessarily where we are.
What you're saying is, even though it wouldn't be low maintenance, if you had done the right things, you would still have taken the plunge.
Yes, I would have.
If you would have prepared for it.
Yes.
What's your reaction as a professional to this Facebook situation?
I mean, the bottom line is, and I've shared this with both of them, that's an emotional affair. And unfortunately, it's sometimes worse than just a physical or sexual affair, because her heart is gone out of that bedroom and her head is somewhere else. And to justify the fact that it's okay to go and get her picture taken, leave her family, not think her husband would care, is a disconnect.
What do you think about that?
Hurt.
So it's not okay?
No, it's not okay for him. She didn't ask me, she told me, and no, it's not okay.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you that, because for a minute I was thinking I had awakened in bizarro backward world or something here. You know, first off, have you ever met this guy?
Yeah.
And what did you think of him?
That he's a good friend.
Yeah. Where'd you meet him? Did you go up there or did you come down here?
I happened to be in Seattle and met up with him while I was over there.
Uh-huh. And where'd you meet him?
At the mall.
at the mall? Does any of this seem odd to you?
I was a lot younger then. This was 2001, 2002. And so it's a friendship that's continued over many years.
So you've known this guy for 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to go with her for this shoot?
No. I mean, several reasons. One, it'd be very hard for the 10 of us to load up in the van and go up.
Well, it wouldn't be as hard as it would be for my wife to get out the front door.
That's what I can say.
If she was getting ready to go load up and go somewhere to be part of a pin-up photo shoot with some guy that she talks to on Facebook on a regular basis, because, you know, there'd be a lot of packing to do. You know, I'd have to pack and get ready to go. We would have to stop by the mental institution, have her committed. We'd have to put me in if I was allowing this to happen. I would just come on. Guys, there's just something wrong in America when common sense is just not common anymore. Here's what we've got. We've got a marriage where you've got 8 kids and no plan. It's turned into complete chaos. Your sex life is non-existent, and she's going to go take a scantily clad photo shoot with a guy she knows on Facebook. Gee, what could go wrong with this? Be honest. It's an escape for you, right? You need the break.
I do need a break.
You need the time.
And I need a friend.
You need a friend.
He's pretty much the only one I have.
Yeah. But you've got a pretty good friend sitting next to you, but somehow or another, you've decided he's no longer a candidate?
I've just checked out from daily life.
Listen, there can be order to this home if we get you some resources to help with that. Some people maybe to come in and help with the family meetings, to help set up, you know, some little chore charts for the kids that they can take great pride in, and where when you walk into the house, it's not like it's on fire. Would that be a help? Would you take that help?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you need it, right? And the kids responded very well, didn't they?
They're loving kids. They love both of their parents. They feel they're a team. They don't really see, her kids don't see him as not their parent, and vice versa. They're willing to be loved and create a solid team. They really are.
Yeah, so you got great kids.
Yeah.
They just need some leadership, and they didn't get it from y'all coming into this, but as I said, it's not too late.
Right.
Now, also, it is tough with 8 kids, so to give Jen and John a night out, we've arranged babysitting services through Nannies for Hire, which is an online nanny referral database where you get to make the decisions. So when they want to go and enjoy an evening out, all 8 kids will be taken care of. And we're going to make that available to you every week for the next 6 months. Okay? So, and you got to take advantage of it. Every week for the next 6 months, then I want you guys to let these nannies come in, take care of the kids, and y'all go out on a date and flirt with each other, see a movie, have dinner, act silly. Don't get pregnant.
Right.
All right. We'll be right back. Well, I want to thank all of my guests. Listen, when we talk to people up here, we talk about things that we know you want to hear about. And as we were talking about y'all's story, I promise you, there are so many mothers out there that feel a lot of the things you're feeling. They just don't have the courage to say it out loud. You said it out loud and risk the judgment and all of the baggage that comes with that. But in doing so, you've reached out and some help is there, and we're going to really rally to your assistance and give you some help. Just starting with you. It's time to be selfish on your behalf and do some healing with you. Are you glad you came here today?
Yes.
And as you know, we've got help coming your way.